Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. Sorry, I forgot where I was then for a second. I think what was I doing? It's been a sunny day. It's been a tiring day for myself, so forgive me. But we are here to talk all things Leeds United, specifically to look at the Preston North End game at Ellen Road on Saturday, the 12th of April. It's a lunchtime kickoff, a famous lunchtime kickoff for Leeds United. There's not many 3 o'clocks left. I think there's only one 3 p.m. kickoff, and I think that is Easter Monday against Stoke City. So at home to Stoke. So I don't think there's any Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs left actually. So it's a 12:30 kickoff back at Ellen Road after our travels in midweek to Middlesbrough, and of course last Saturday we were on the road at Luton Town, weren't we? Of course. So back at Ellen Road, Leeds will be looking to do better than the last time out at ER. We drew, of course, with Swansea City. Swansea getting a late equaliser, very, very poor that afternoon. Will look to be better, and Preston North End are the visitors. We'll look at it in this video, and looking at Leeds United. Not so sure about the team news. I think Mr. Daniel Farke will probably speak tomorrow on it, but I think looking like Pascal Struijk is out for the season. Joe Rothwell is also missing, I imagine, for the next 2 or 3. Maybe he's out for the whole season as well. Maybe we're going to go with the same team that started at Middlesbrough. I know a lot of people are absolutely eulogising over Mr. Patrick Bamford's involvement on Tuesday evening. He had a good involvement. He had a good sort of 15 minutes or so, maybe more than that, half an hour. I don't know. I can't remember how long he was on the pitch for, but he had a good, he had a good sort of, he had a good way about him. He would look hungry for the ball. He obviously scored that offside goal. 200 appearances for Patrick. Let's see if it's 201. I'm sure if he doesn't start the game, he will be a feature at some stage, and he might be, a little bit of a tonic for what Preston North End will probably bring. We'll speak about them in a moment. But let me know your thoughts in the comments there below. Who would you like to see start this game? I've seen a lot of people say Mr. Patrick will, they'd like to see him start. Mr. Joel Perreault has not scored a goal for 7 games now, and a lot of people have been bad-mouthing Joel's involvement. It's not been good enough from him. A lot of the time he's a ghost in the games. It's nothing new. But he hasn't, what he has been doing in other times, he's been popping up with the goals. This time, no goals in 7. When he's a ghost, it's very much noticeable when he doesn't get a goal or an assist or a goal involvement. So he's been very poor over the last 7, very, very quiet. And, a lot of people have said, given Bamford's involvement and his impact on Tuesday night, that maybe he's in line for a starter, and it might do something, like I said, to combat Preston North End's kind of, probably robust and, rambunctious and sort of aggressive style that they're probably going to come with, aren't they, to Ellen Road on Saturday lunchtime. I'd be surprised if they didn't come with any sort of aggression. I think it's probably going to happen. I imagine they're going to try and bully us off the ball and break the play up with bitty fouls and wet time wasting. Obviously, they'll look to get goals on free kicks and set pieces. And as these teams often are when they come to Leeds, they're on horrible form. Preston North End, it has to be said. And, any sort of thought of the playoffs, which, might have looked a possibility a couple of months ago maybe, as well diminished, and they're looking very much over the shoulders now. I think there's something like 7 points, I think, ahead of the relegation zone. With so many teams in and around it, with 5 games to go, you've got to say Preston, they need 1 or 2 more points, at least a few points to completely secure Championship football next season. They've really slipped off. I think they're in 16th position at this current moment, managed, of course, by our former boss, Paul Heckingbottom, who, we know how he plays. It's very yeah, it's very kind of standard play. It's very robust and aggressive. They'll come with, yeah, they'll try and break. They'll say to Leeds, come and break us down because we're fine for a point here probably, and try and nick it, like I said, on a free kick or corner kick. Um, and Preston North End, we probably say it every time we play them. It's very much an average team, just a nothing kind of club, but not nothing club. It's a very historic club, but it's a nothing kind of team in a, always in the mid-table. It's mid-lower table this season. Maybe it's a little bit more exciting for Preston fans. They've actually got something to play for in a way. Like I said, they've got to be careful without, not to be sucked into that relegation battle because it's going to go right down to the wire, that one, and teams down there aren't giving up as you wouldn't expect them to. So Preston have to keep going. They've got something to play for, what I would say, because the form they're in currently, it's one win in five. That came at Deepdale against Portsmouth. But they haven't won away from home since mid-February in a 1-0 win away at Carrow Road. They went and beat Norwich, and that was the last away win. So that was mid-February. In terms of players that we need to look out for, they've got a, it's like it's a very stodgy side, this, with a sprinkle of kind of Scandinavian flair, a little bit of European flair, in Osmahodek. What's his called? Melier had a bit of a, ruckus with him, didn't he? Got himself sent off on Boxing Day of 2023 when we lost there. Ozumak, is it? I don't know his name. Montenegrin lad. Bit of a SHIT house. Likes to wind people up the wrong way. I'm sure he'll be doing that. He's got 8 goals, so he's a threat as well. Jakobsen is their top scorer, so one to look out for as well. The Danish striker, 10 goals as well for him this season. So they've got players that can put the ball in the net. But ultimately you'd expect Leeds United to win this game of football at Ellen Road. Always more confident at Ellen Road, and that Swansea game was a really odd one, to be honest with you. And Leeds need to be on it because every single team that come to Ellen Road are going to really fancy it and say, hey, we've got nothing to lose. Come and break us down. We might even have a go at you and grab something. So, it's coming right down to the wire now. Leeds can't afford any slip-ups. And at home, against a team in bad form like that, 1 win in 10 games for Preston North End, you've got to say, it's got to be Leeds United for the taking here. We're unbeaten now, I think, in 5 games. I know we've drawn 3 of those, but, I know Preston have also only lost the 1 of those 5 games as well, of the recent 5. So, look, they're going to come and say, hey, break us down. They've got players that potentially could hurt us on the attack. So we've got to mind how we go. But with Darlow in goal and, defence maybe a little bit more stronger with Ampadu there and Rodon, like I said, the red wall as Fark calls it, perhaps we're a bit more, a bit more kind of solid, than we have been of recent times. Because Pascal, as much as he's done well, he's a little bit more dodgy for me than Ampadu at the back. And that's just my opinion. But there you go. And then obviously you'd expect maybe 1 or 2 changes to combat the way that Preston are going to come at us. But ultimately, if you look at this fixture down the years, we've had the better of it. We haven't lost in the last 5. I know Preston won at Ellen Road in 2018 in the League Cup game, but you'd have to go as far back as 2010 in that famous 6-4 game. The last time Preston North End came away from Leeds with all 3 points. Obviously, John Parkin, famous podcaster now, he went on and he scored 4. It was an incredible second half. Leeds were 4-1 up at half time. Unbelievable, that game. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we are 4-1 up at half time and we go through and win that game. It was absolutely ludicrous that evening. But it's football, that happens sometimes. Obviously Sam Greenwood is one to mention. He will be missing from the North End side because he is on loan from Leeds United. He's contributed in his own way, to Preston's season. I think he's got 5 goals and 3 assists. So it's okay, for a team that are sort of languishing to the sort of mid bottom end of the table really. So he's done all right. I expect him to be sold, probably like Gelhardt in the summer. You would have said Championship maybe is his level, at this point in his career. But he won't be involved on Saturday. But I'm sure he'll be in the stadium come Saturday lunchtime. But there you go. He won't be on the pitch. I expect Leeds to have enough for Preston, but we've got to be on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments there below. Any North End fans, everybody's welcome. How are you fancying your chances? Do you agree with me? Are you in a relegation scrap? Are you looking behind behind your shoulders, thinking we've got to be careful here? Let me know how you're feeling about the season and this game ahead. Are you going? It's not too far of a trip, is it really, for you guys? Are you heading to Leeds on Saturday lunchtime? Anyway, let me know your thoughts, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Marching on together, and I'll see you on the next one.